This page is to help you classify triangles. So we've got two ways of classifying. You can use angles and then you use the sides. So you're going to look for both of these things. You're going to look at the angles for the triangles and you're going to look at the sides for the triangles. Okay? So an acute triangle just means that all of the angles that make that triangle are less than 90 degrees. Obtuse means that one angle is obtuse and the other two are going to be acute. A right triangle just means that it has a 90-degree angle, which you can see right there by the little box. Or an equiangular triangle means that all three angles are the exact same measurement. The sides, scalene, isosceles, or equilateral are our three categories. Scalene means that all three sides have different measurements. So not one side, none of the sides pair up, okay? Isosceles, two sides are the same. So you have, see how this one has the little mark and a little mark? If they have the same mark on them, that means they are the same triangle. The same measurement, okay? So you can see right here, I have a mark, and right here, it has the exact same mark, which means that those two sides are congruent or equal to each other. They have the same measurement. And then equilateral, the same idea, except it's not two sides, it's all three sides. So when you classify a triangle, you're going to look at both things. You're going to look at how do the angles compare to one another and how do the sides compare to one another. And then the other thing that I wanted to remind you of was this idea of the sum of all of the angle measurements. Remember, when you add all three of these together, when I add x, y, and z together, they have to equal 180 degrees. So we're going to do a couple of sample problems over here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is look at the angles. I can see that I have 45 degrees and 45 degrees. So I know I have two angles that are the same, and I have one angle that's 90 degrees. So I'm going to come over to my list. This is all acute. So no, because I have 190, so one of them is not less than 90. One obtuse, I don't have anything bigger than 90, so that one's not true. One right angle, I do have one right angle. So this first part is going to be called a right. So that's our angle classification. Now we're going to look at our sides. So you can see right here, that little mark and that little mark tell me that those two sides are the same. Let me get rid of this. So that little mark and that little mark tell me those two sides are the same. So I'm going to look at each of my classifications and see if I can find one that talks about the two sides being the same. So scalene says none of the sides are the same. Isosceles is at least two of the sides are the same. And equilateral is all three sides are the same. Since this one is just those two sides, I'm going to say it's a right isosceles triangle. Isosceles, right isosceles triangle. Okay, and then we're going to look at the next one. So again, I'm going to look at the angles first. I have 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. So I have one right angle right there. So I know this is going to be a right triangle. Now I need to determine the sides if I can. I'm looking for either nothing is the same, two are the same, or all three are the same. And since this is not marked at all or measured at all, I can't conclude that any of the sides are the same. So this one is going to be a right scalene triangle. You're using an angle classification and a side classification combined to give you the name of the triangle, okay? All right, so you guys give it a shot for number 3 and number 4.